therapist.
Hello.
My name is Claude. Today then, this is my lovely mother Jacqueline. She, her. She's the sex therapist.
And they're the daughter.
Today we're coming at you from unceded Gadigal land. Always was, always will be. And we extend respect to all Aboriginal people joining us today. So today we're talking about what you've been wanting us to talk about from the dawn of time.
From the dawn of the podcast.
From the conception of the pod. And that is porn.
Porn.
P-O-R-N, yes.
Pervasiveness of porn.
Yep. We're finally doing it. It's here. But before we get into it, what was your most erotic moment of the week?
I was thinking about that this morning. I was having my morning breakfast in bed, pondering the day, and in particular pondering the pod. And knowing that
Pondering.
I was pondering, yes.
That was a great one.
And I just thought, this, what we're doing here.
Oh, that's nice.
What we're creating here. Like, this is just really beautiful.
Wow.
And I'm just really, really happy with what we're creating. I'm feeling a little teary saying that.
Aww.
I might have to get a tissue. Haven't got teary on the pod before.
Yes, you have.
Have I?
Yeah. Yes,
Oh,
you have.
okay. Well, yeah, no, it's just really beautiful that, we're doing this together. And
Oh, it is special.
it is very special.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you for being part of this specialness.
Yeah, thanks for giving birth to me.
As you came out, I was kind of like, yeah, we're going to be podding one day. Actually, podcast didn't exist back then.
No. Oh, that's beautiful. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, that's mine. What about you?
Well, it's not as complimentary to you, but
Oh, no.
Tough act to follow. Well, I went to the family beach house, woo, down the south coast, and I went for a morning swim in the ocean, as I do when I'm down there. And guess what? A seal. There was a seal to my right. I'm walking into the water. Wow, isn't this majestic? Oh, the ocean. Love the ocean. Look to my right. Boom. Seal.
Oh, God. How special.
And they looked to the right.
It
looked to the left. The seal looked at me and was just like, I felt it go, yeah, okay, you're fine. Yeah, this is fine. And then
picking up the good vibes.
Did a little swim, and then I was like, oh my God! I freaked out and waved. And then it went under the water, and then I was like, bro, I can't see you if you're under the waves. Like, where are you? And it popped up and looked at me, and then it went swimming again, and then I did some surfing in some waves. Rather delightful. It's a good time. And I got a video of it, so if you want to see.
Oh, yeah.
Not Claude on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, post it on your Insta page. Yeah, fantastic. Maybe we should post it on my mum's a sex therapist page too.
True.
Why not? Easier for our listeners.
So yeah, seal. And that is the second time that I've seen a seal at that beach. And I'm wondering if it's the same seal, because every time I go to the beach, they like to send a little message to the ocean, just like, hey, whoever's there, if you want to say hi, I'd love to see you. Anyway, that a seal. I'm just going to say it's the same one.
Why not?
It's my life. I get to say what I want.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so yeah, basically the seal can sense my energy and knows that I'm there.
Probably can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm totally for, energetic alignments and stuff. We can probably do an entire episode on it. But, once you understand the quantum nature of reality, it's all energy. And it's very different to what we're seeing here. What we see is a manifestation of that energy. But what's going on underneath? And there's certainly plenty of stories of Indigenous cultures having very close rapport with animals and nature and being able to sense each other and connect. And I think that we modern people can as well, if we're in tune with it.
It was crazy because I set up my phone to record because I was like, you know what, this is beautiful. I'm just going to capture.
Yeah.
I'm just going to capture this beautiful boom seal.
That is so cool that you were able to do that.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And it was just so exciting. I love a surprise. I really do.
Oh.
Loves a surprise.
Oh, encounters with nature. The last time I was down there in summer and hiking,
Mm.
We were going hiking. You were on the hike.
I was there.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, and we saw all of the dolphins surfing. There were all these dolphins surfing the waves.
On the top of the cliff.
Yeah, we were up the top looking down, yeah. Oh, it was amazing encounters with. I've had so many amazing encounters with nature down there. You know, a lot of our erotic moments that we share are encounters with nature.
Yeah. What did they say? Naturephile something? I don't know. But actually, something that I learnt in my other favorite podcast, Ologies. This is my favorite podcast, but my other favorite podcast.
Your favorite one to listen to as opposed to create.
Yeah. They're talking about how human brains are designed, like this is pretty common knowledge. Anyway, caveat aside, looking at trees actually focuses us more because when we are in our gatherer hunter phase, that's where all the food was. So we would look at the trees and we'd be like focused in on the animals or the fruit, berries, whatever the fuck. So that's why entering into nature actually refocuses you. While there's other types of relaxation can tend to take your focus away further. Which I thought was really interesting, and it makes sense because it's like really that in tune, erotic.
Oh yeah, that's why I just love being in nature, and why one of my favorite hobbies is gardening.
Yeah. Yeah, the alert relaxation again. Yes. Vagal toning again.
Your new verb that was discovered last episode.
So today, porn. Back to it.
Yes.
Porn. Rife with problematic. Very in the discourse.
Very much.
People are talking about it. People are consuming it. Humans love watching people have sex. The voyeuristic elements of sex have been part of human sexuality as far back as recorded history goes, and probably beyond. Erotic art is found around the world from all eras. Even in sexually repressed periods, such as Victorian England, there was a flourishing trade in postcards of nudes and amazing little paper contraptions that mimicked the sex act. In present times, there wouldn't be too many men around who, as a teenager, didn't have girly magazines stuffed under their mattresses, which their girlfriends also looked at in fascination. Yeah, that's a direct quote from something you wrote.
It is indeed, yes. And I was talking more about my generation because your generation didn't need girly magazines because you had it on the screen.
Yeah, similar essence though. And just to kick things off a little bit, I did a cheeky little bit of research to find the earliest depiction of porn, and the research was not very thorough, and this is probably quite Eurocentric, so I am ready to be proven wrong if you guys have more information. But from what I found is the first depiction was an ivory statuette of a well-endowed woman discovered in Germany, and it suggests that the early smart art might have been the erotic variety. So that's the first art ever depicted, ever found. And it was erotic art.
Well, it was naked art.
Digging in a cave near Stuttgart. Hopefully I said that right. Wouldn't be surprised if I didn't. Stuttgart. Digging in a cave near Stuttgart last fall. The archaeologist Nicholas Conrad unearthed what he says is the most ancient representation of a human female yet found, and at more than 35,000 years old, one of the oldest sculptures ever discovered. This tiny statuette, just under 6 centimeters tall and 3.4 centimeters wide, was carved out of a single piece of mammoth ivory. It has dramatically exaggerated breasts and a detailed enlarged vulva. The headless figurine is topped with a knob that Conrad suggests might have been used to attach it to a cord for a necklace or a personal ornament. There's no way to know what the statuette was used for or for what meaning it carried. Although scientists... Try that again. There's no way to know what the statuette was used for or what meaning it carried, although scientists theorize that it might have been used in shamanistic rites or simply pornography. Anthropologist Paul Mellers of the Stony Brook University in New York says that the focus on exaggerated features fits with other artifacts found from that period, including phalluses carved out of bison horn and vulva inscribed on rocks. It's sexually exaggerated to the point of being pornographic, Mellers says. There's all this sexual symbolism bubbling up in that period. They were sex mad. Now.
Can I reinterpret, please?
Now. The statuette, I'll post a photo on Instagram. Check it out. My mom's a sex therapist. But there are some problems with that little statement, aren't there?
Well, I think so. It's really, and this is a problem that a lot of actually female archaeologists and anthropologists have with this assumption that anything that shows a naked female or a female with her certain parts of her body exaggerated must be for the male gaze.
Must be.
They must have done it to turn the men on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as if the women weren't wandering around naked anyway. Like, it's not like the men were starved of seeing naked bodies. Like, it is freaking insane, right?
I love how he's like, this sexual symbolism. It's like, it's titties and a vulva. I'm not sure that's symbolic. I'm pretty sure that's just is.
And another way of interpreting all of this, which I prefer, is that it's actually honouring the power of the feminine.
Yeah. Should we say that one more time?
Honouring the power of the feminine. Because back in those days, you know, the women were these miraculous creatures who created life and who succored life. Mm-hmm. The creating of offspring is what kept the tribe and everyone going. And women were powerful in that.
Yeah.
So powerful. So any symbol that exaggerated those elements, because remember, they had no shame around breasts and vulvas. Mm-hmm. They weren't looking at breasts and vulvas and going, "Whoa, yeah, Jimmy, big boy, whoa." No, they weren't. They were going, "Whoa, magnificent."
What, you don't think they were saying, "Is this too much cleavage?"
Oh, look at the size of those tits.
In the fucking little leaves that are covering.
Like, that's the thing. People interpret things that happened from so long ago from the modern perspective, through their own lens of their own sexual shame and lack of sexual awareness and cleansing of all of that. Yeah. Right? So you cannot interpret a pre-sexual shame society through the lens of a society that is full of sexual shame.
Yeah.
You can't interpret pre-patriarchal societies through the lens of a patriarchal society.
Yeah.
All indications are that actually they were more likely to have been matriarchal societies because the women were these miraculous creatures who sustained life.
Yeah, imagine, I've said this before, but imagine, it's kind of hard for us modern humans to imagine, but thought experiment. You, a early human, no information aside from what your parents have told you and the sun rising and setting. Fucking a human comes out of a vagina?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Miraculous. Oh, hail the females.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what is so funny is that if they had found a man with a huge penis, I reckon they would have been like,
oh, yeah,
it's a symbol of his strength.
Oh, it's a symbol of God. This is clearly God with his big phallus.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if there's a big vulva, oh, no, it's there to turn the men on. Like, oh, it just drives me. I heard one the other day. Someone was talking about hypothesizing why women live longer than men, right? And the guy who was presenting this was carrying on as though he was real feminist, very female positive, because he was saying it's the grandmother effect. Women lived longer so they could help look after the children. And I'm like, what the holy fuck? Women can only be interpreted in terms of looking after children. I'm like, you know, grandfathers can look after children. Grandfathers can. Men are very good at being grandfathers. In fact, a lot of them are better grandfathers than they are fathers, right? So, you know, if it was all about being a good grandparent, the men would live a long time too. But let's look at the fact that postmenopausal women actually have the calmest hormonal system of any type. Let's actually look at the fact that mature women are actually great leaders, right? Is it possible that the fact women lived longer was because they had a leadership role in their communities? Yes? Have we postulated that? No, because we don't think that women can be great leaders, or that in these prehistoric times that might have been a desirable thing. Having people who are calm and wise and clever. Now, I don't know, I wasn't there, but I'm just postulating it as an alternative that perhaps women don't live to be longer because they're grandmothers.
It holds the exact same amount of validity as the other one, because these are all just theories, you know?
Yeah, if not more, right? And we actually know that female leaders, if they're not trying to pretend to be men and have adopted all of the patriarchal stuff, are actually calmer, more reasoned.
Totally.
I mean, if only we could get to the point in society where we had women leading.
Also,
Male leaders were learning to be more like female leaders rather than the other way round.
It's also like so patriarchal just to be like, why they get to live longer than us? Instead of like, why aren't we living as long?
Yes.
It's like, maybe you're just not needed that much.
Like,
sorry about it.
We're just not as good at being old people as the women are.
Yeah, like why does it? That's unfair.
Oh,
I'm a man, therefore I should be the one who has the best of everything.
Yes, but we can't just blame the men because there's a lot of women that buy into these beliefs as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I have been on a learning journey of, well, not really, but I've been surrounded by a lot of realizations of women are actually the ones that continue patriarchy, and that all of us have been, no matter what, even me with that mum, I've been brainwashed into keeping myself in check so that I keep patriarchy in check. Like I've been brainwashed into thinking that I need to conform it to a certain body size so that I'm not energized enough and so that I'm not feeling myself correctly. I've been brainwashed into like serving the sexual needs of my male partner, blah, 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 you know? Like women are the ones who are upholding patriarchy.
Oh, a lot of
Let's not give men that credit, to be honest.
And a lot of like the most strident feminists are like, you're looking at the world through a patriarchal lens, right? Like even the stridency, you know, the ones who hate on men and we've got to squash the patriarchy, that's a patriarchal approach. Beating down, squashing, hating. Like that is patriarchal rather than, you know, loving and compassionate and being like water and slowly changing and evolving.
Yeah,
you know, and all this competitive, you know, it's not fair. Men have more orgasms or they have easier orgasms. Well, for a start, we're only talking about peak orgasms there, not female type orgasms, because who talks about waves of orgasm and bliss state orgasms? No, because they're feminine. We want to have as many peak orgasms as quickly and as easily as men, and it's not fair if we don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop. But then I've had people tell me that I'm not a feminist or that I'm, you know, anti-women and all. And I'm like, no, I'm pro-human.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I've been told I don't hate men enough, you know, because they've got all of these privileges. I'm like, all these privileges. They get sick more often. They commit suicide more often. They die younger. They're generally unhappier. Okay, so they have, on average, higher salaries. Yeah. Like, I don't know about you, but that's a patriarchal KPI.
Yeah,
if you're judging success and worth on income and status, you're buying into the patriarchy.
Yeah. And it's also like, why are you policing a woman who's trying to educate people on this instead of changing behaviors in your life that help uphold patriarchy? You know, it's like you're not actually you're not destroying patriarchy by hating on women. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Or hating on men or hating.
Yeah. But it's so true. And that's like the reason why I'm focusing on women, on hating on women is because it was such a fucking mind-blowing thing to me to just realize that men aren't the ones who are upholding patriarchy. Women have been brainwashed into upholding patriarchy. And it's fucked up. And porn is a big part of that.
Porn is a big part of this.
Porn is a big part of it.
Unplanned entree.
Thank you.
Or maybe you did plan it, my darling.
I did a little bit.
You did plan it a little bit.
Really good actor as well. You didn't even know. Yeah.
Right.
So, porn.
Yes.
Society.
Yes.
There are a few reasons why it's bad.
Look, there are. And just this little caveat up front, a bit like you were saying in your introduction. Look, enjoying watching people having sex is not a bad thing.
No.
You know, like I'm not anti-porn. I am anti-porn. I'm going to come out strongly and say it. Yep, I am. I'm not against it for moral reasons.
Well, you're not against like voyeurism.
I'm not against voyeurism. I'm not against people looking at people having sex.
What's the opposite of voyeurism?
Exhibitionism.
Yes.
I'm not against it for the reason that we hear so much of in society and in the news and so forth, that it turns men into aggressive lovers. No, quite the opposite. I think it turns men into bad lovers.
Well, do you think it turns people into bad lovers, right?
Well, people, yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely. It turns people into bad lovers. They lack confidence. They become performative. They're not having good sex. They don't know how to connect.
Yeah.
Like there are so many problems. Now, even if you were going to be generous and say, okay, it's all right to watch the porn that's out there, right? I'd say, okay, if you are going to do that, you need to watch it like you watch any movie, right? If you're watching a shoot 'em up, blow 'em up kind of, boys movie type of thing, it's pretend.
Yeah.
You don't then go out and start shooting people up, right? You know that it's just fun entertainment on the screen.
Yeah.
If you are going to be watching porn, then you need to look at porn like that. It is simply entertainment designed to titillate. It is not modeling good sex. It is not modeling something that you should be doing in real life.
Similar to the production, it's also like we're paying for it most of the time. People are getting fair wages. Actors are being treated well. So, yeah, engaging with it in a fairly ethical way. If you do want to engage with it, important. But why don't you like porn?
So, oh God, where do I begin? How many hours have we got today?
Well, we've broken it down into 4 sections. So let's just stick to those. Okay.
All right. So for a start, it is very intense. And so a lot of people use it just to get a quick turn on.
Yeah.
And then they get a quick fix. Like, oh, I'm feeling a bit horny. I just want to have a quick wank or a quick, little fiddle. So watch that. It's really intense. Done. But it's not satisfying. It's like fast food in a way, empty of nutrients and empty of nutrition. And so then people start chasing the next thing. And so you can get hooked on a kind of like a hedonistic treadmill where you want a bigger fix. I need something more, and start watching, more out there porn, but never actually getting a sense of satisfaction, because porn cannot give you a sense of satisfaction in and of itself.
Yeah.
If you are voyeuristic and you like to look at people having sex, it can be an add-on. It can be a little bit of a prop somehow, it can be used in that way potentially. But in and of itself, no, it's not satisfying. It's like having a hamburger and, then thinking I'm still hungry. So you have a bigger hamburger and you're like, actually, I'm still hungry. And so you get the Mega Whopper and I'm still not feeling satisfied. And now I'm getting sick and I'm getting unhealthy.
Yeah. Well, personally, because I used to watch porn a lot and now I don't at all. And the difference that I feel, I agree with you. But I wouldn't say it's not satisfying. I would just say it is not satisfying it's not deeply satisfying, No. It's satisfying where you're still looking at the screen, but then once you get away from that world, it's like, oh, well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so while I could still have heaps and heaps of orgasms while engaging and watching porn, it is nowhere near the same as if I am self-pleasuring from my own brain. And that's, I think, because it's not my fantasy, someone else's fantasy.
Well, yes.
Yeah. And so therefore, when I conjure it up from my own mind palace, it's way more satisfying.
Way more interesting.
Yeah. But it's also because I'm connected to my body as well. And my body and the brain connection is happening. Whereas if you're watching it on the screen, it's just being fed to you. So there is no body or brain connection. It's just engaging.
It's lazy.
Yeah, totally. Because it's executive functioning to masturbate or to self-pleasure. And so if you have an easier option to open the phone, I totally understand why people do it. Also, it's kind of a routine to open your phone or do I have time? Okay, let's open the phone and be else, But yeah, definitely not satisfying from a holistic, deep, real, authentic sense.
Yes. And since that's what we're on about.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It would be like if we were doing a food podcast and we were focusing on takeaway hamburgers.
Or Macca's fries versus a wedge that's been fried and with truffle oil drizzle and...
there's a place for the Macca's fries, right? But if that's all you're having, then it's a bit empty.
Yeah, totally. And imagine for me, in that example that I just used, Macca's fries, phrases, once I figured out how to cook a good fry, I was like, what the fuck have I been doing this whole time?
Exactly. And that's not what people come to me for.
Yeah.
Right. Like any idiot can turn on the phone and have a wank.
Yeah.
Like that's not high level lovemaking. That's not enhancing your life with depth and beauty and goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually probably detracting.
Well, it does. And, people get kind of hooked on it. Now, sexologists tend to not like to say porn addiction so much because it's not addiction like a substance addiction, but it's like this compulsion. And, people start feeling icky and they don't like. I mean, that's the people who come to see me, right? And I'm going to be upfront here. I have never seen any porn that I like. Like for a while, particularly when I started being a sex therapist, I'm kind of like, okay, I better go looking for some porn, because that's part of what all of this is. I could not find any anywhere. I just find the whole thing, well, it either leaves me cold because it's like looking at a anatomy video, like just looking at people bonking. I'm like, okay, so that's people having sex. It doesn't turn me on.
Yeah.
Or it was just kind of icky because it there was no connection in the people.
Yeah,
and it did sort of seem more of that, the men dominating the women and the women doing the
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
And I was just like,
that's why I tuned out as well. Even
it's
in
just
like
awful.
Even queer porn is so like that.
And
I found myself like starting to like skip through bits to get to the good stuff. And then I would be like, that is so crazy that I'm just like making myself a robot of sexual pleasure.
Yeah.
Rather than like
going for the good bits.
Yeah.
It's like having a meal and chucking it all away so that you can have the ice cream at the end, and you but even then, but that's partly because they're not good quality. And how can it be good quality? The amount that's being churned out all the time, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather just occasionally watch a really good French erotic movie, that you don't actually see the genitals doing this thing because you know what? I know what that looks like. And up close doesn't do anything for me anyway. But, like, if you've got something like it's really sexy, like there's some shows have got some movies have got really sexy sex scenes. Because it's all about the evocative nature of it, and then you can sort of fill in the gaps a little bit.
And I'm sure people, like listeners, I'm sure you could, lovers. Oh, sorry, got to use your real name, lovers. I'm sure you could find some porn that you do like. It's
maybe, but not necessarily.
Yeah, totally. But like, I just don't want to shut people down.
No. And look, I'm being a bit strident today because I just feel like it. Because I was listening to someone the other day and I was really resonating with what they were saying, that too many of us, left-leaning liberal types, we accept things and we sort of feel like we should say it's okay. Like, like porn's okay. There's nothing wrong with porn. When you're kind of like, hello, the emperor is wearing no clothes. Like, how can this be a good thing? The access, the ready availability, and because I have so many people come to see me with problems around watching porn. If no one came to me with problems around watching porn, then it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
Right? All these young guys coming along thinking that, with low confidence because they think their penises are too small, or they think that they're not a good lover because, their female partner doesn't just go into paroxysms of orgasm just because the penis comes out, like it actually takes more to turn her on than just showing her your erection.
Yeah.
Right? Why doesn't she drop to her knees and suddenly start adoring my manhood because it's there?
Yeah.
What's wrong with me? A lot of the men that I see go, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Because I'm not having the effect on women that I see on porn.
Yeah. And because people look at porn and they think that's what good sex is.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's curated, the actors.
Well, yeah, and it just goes straight to the good bits because it's a visual medium designed to titillate.
And even when it's supposed to, I'm still skipping over stuff.
But even if you're enjoying it, right? Even if you're enjoying it, even if you're someone who does get turned on and you're enjoying it, right? It just goes and shows the stuff that is visually and auditorily interesting, right? So that's why you see all the bigger, harder, faster, intense stuff because it is more visually engaging.
Yeah.
You don't see two couples in the throes of tantric bliss because it is very dull.
You barely see people taking their clothes off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just talking to each other,
Yeah, exactly. They're just suddenly, lust descends and they're right into it. And
the pizza delivery man opens the door and
then
she
suddenly
is
it is
wet.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But I also think that's why you see more images of women giving men blowjobs than of men going down on a woman because, it's more visually interesting to see a cock going in and out of a mouth than it is to see a man's face buried between some legs, because you can't actually see anything.
And also, this is what I've joined the dots. Claude moment here.
Yes.
Because the female sexual response is so important to pleasure.
Yes.
Like everyone who I've spoken to about porn, regardless, I mean, probably some gay men, to be honest, are excluded from this, but a lot of people who I've talked to about porn, they always look at the woman's face, always. And what she's doing.
Yeah, studies have shown that. They've been eye-tracking studies of men watching porn, and they're looking at the women's faces.
Yeah.
Because I believe men are hardwired to get off on seeing a woman's pleasure.
Yeah.
Which goes back to that statuette we were talking about earlier. Men, I believe, are actually designed to admire and adore women, and they love her pleasure.
Yeah, which is why porn's so fucked up, because it flips that shit,
it flips
but
it
still
around.
Uses that biology.
Yeah, because the female actresses are all going, oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. But what's being done does not elicit that in a normal female.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
Now, I will say that women can get to those places of wild abandon and doing all this great stuff, including going down, because you're already aroused, you're already turned on, you're in the throes of it. Yeah, of course you can get to that fantastic place.
Yeah, and it can look a lot like porn.
Yeah. Yes, but there's a process to get there.
Which is what porn misses out on. There's no build-up.
There's no build-up, and there's no adoring of the man to the woman. There's no mutuality. There's just like kind of like
and
there's nothing.
Usually pretty violent. Like it's always so intense. Yeah.
It's intense. Like it's designed like those shoot 'em up, blow 'em up movies. You know, the boys movies that we call them, you know, the guys like those, you know, the women like the rom-coms, the men like the boys movie, you know. But porn is like those movies. Like it's intense. There's stuff happening, you know, and the big cocks and the cum shots, and like really, does there any woman who likes to have cum on her face? Like seriously.
I've also engaged with porn that's more like erotic, videography style.
Yeah.
But even that, if it becomes genital, it's always intense genital focus, intense physical focus, which is like fine sometimes, but it's not everything, you know?
No.
Yeah. So it's lackluster. And
lackluster. Lackluster is the word. I think that's the word of the day. Porn is lackluster. So it makes for lazy lovers.
Yeah.
Right? Because people, if they think, male or female, whatever gender, if they think that's what you do, they don't learn how to actually connect and actually make love and actually create arousal and actually enjoy themselves.
From just like because I'm a videographer, photographer, content creator person, like you're going from 3D into 2D. So things that look good on camera are not what actually looks good in life. So you have to keep that in mind as well, that all of this construction for the fucking story that they're telling, like it's
what story?
It's not only, usually the writing is that for the sexual act that they're trying to create here. It's like they're all actors pretending. The women are responding in a way that is not how they would respond in real life. And the actual like visual taste is for the camera. So there's like, it's just so not what good sex actually is.
Well, you know, we're saying that the women aren't responding as they would naturally. I think it's the same with the men.
Yes, as well.
Like, I don't think most men want to be animalistic assholes to the women they love.
No.
I mean, I've spoken to some thousands of them and none of them have said that, right? Like a little bit of rough sex if you're in the mood can be fine if that's what she's wanting.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying you can't, you know, get into it and thrust away with wild abandon. Yeah, of course that can be great. But just the whole on your knees, suck my dick, you know, it's like, I just don't think most men would like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless that she wanted to do that, or you're doing some role play that was good for both of you or whatever, right? But I have met men who think that that's what women want, and then they're kind of disappointed that their partner's not doing that.
Well, I can't blame them.
I have met some really sad cases, often with people on the autistic spectrum and stuff who have thought that that's what it was, and then will act that out. So otherwise, like really lovely people, lovely men, will act that out with their female partners, and if she's compliant or also on the spectrum, whatever, can buy into that. But also, I've just seen so many women who who come to me saying that they don't like sex anymore because of the stuff they've done, and some of the stuff that like they don't even want to share what they've done, or what they share is kind of like basically acting like porn stars.
Yeah,
that's what they've been doing. They feel sick. They feel disgusted. It's led to marriages ending. It's led to people claiming to be asexual. That's the other thing. I've had people come to me saying they're asexual because their definition of what sexual is doing porn stuff.
Yeah.
Right? They have no concept that sex can be something other than that.
I was having this exact same conversation with someone the other day.
Really?
Who was like, yeah, I think I'm asexual. I just like don't feel like having sex all the time. And I was like, what is sex to you? She couldn't answer. Could not answer. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, maybe. Not to be like, haha, I know more than you. But it's also just like, yes. What is your sexuality to you?
Yes. Did you tell her to listen to our podcast?
I did, yeah. But she like really took some time and really thought about it. And I was just like, I'm just going to leave you to that. Walked away, So porn makes bad lovers. Let's explore that a little bit.
Yes. All right. So we've sort of covered some of that confidence stuff and the connection stuff, all of that. But I think a really important thing as well is the safety thing, and that creating a space in which you can feel open to each other and vulnerable to each other. And there's a softness in that. And that's what you need to be able to get into a sexual act, which might then become more passionate, intense, and more porn-like, right? So, and particularly if you have a vulva, a vagina, or if you're doing something that requires entering into your body, even more so, that sense of being relaxed and open and receptive.
Even bum holes.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And any part of the body. Yeah.
Yeah, anyone who's tried anal, it doesn't work if you're not feeling relaxed. Well, it doesn't work for me, actually. Me and my bum hole. I need to be relaxed.
Yes. So that route to you as individuals and as a couple, creating that space in which you do feel safe, relaxed, open, vulnerable.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what gets all of the really beautiful feelings going, and the love as much as just the arousal. Right? That's a process that is not indicated.
No, none at all.
In porn.
No.
Right? And even if some of those things might get one, the male, more likely off, right? Possibly the female, there are some women that orgasm from intense, thrusting. That's just one type of orgasm, and it's not the range of orgasms that we talk about, and that range of connection and pleasure and bliss, the bliss and the joy and all of those kind of qualities that really make sex good. Nothing. None of that.
How do you feel about those like kink porn that like, well, I say kink porn, I'm sure there are other porns as well, but that has that interview beforehand for people to watch?
Yeah, look, there is better quality porn out there.
Yeah.
Porn that, has different sexualities, body types and colours and all that sort of stuff. So it's more inclusive in that sense.
Yeah.
Which is better, but it's not better if it's still basically bad porn.
Yeah.
Like that in and of itself might make it marginally better, but if something's bad and it's just a broader range of people doing something bad, that doesn't necessarily make it better, right? But yeah, like the type that you're talking about where they might interview the participants and get, well, look, yes, that's better. But again, if they're, and I've seen those sorts of things and I'm just like, okay, so we get to know you a bit and then you just go and fuck each other. I mean, okay, maybe for some people that makes it more real, but does that, like, really what matters is what is the impact on you as the observer?
What about like amateur porn from people who are just uploading themselves having sex?
Look, if that's something that you enjoy doing, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right? But again, it comes down to what are you getting out of it in terms of the creating and the uploading of it?
Yeah.
And what are you getting out of it if you're observing it? Now, it does tend to be more real.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people can be really performative in doing that as well.
Yeah.
Right. And I've, and I know people who have, like even they've got OnlyFans accounts and stuff like that, and they're sort of like coming up with, more ideas, which again tends to be more out there. It's not real. I know you think OnlyFans is better because the money goes directly to the creators. And I'm like, okay, again, that makes it slightly more moral. But is that actually good for the creators?
Yeah.
Selling their bodies for people's enjoyment. I mean, what I've seen on OnlyFans is, it's no better than standard porn. It's all these, young women going, fuck me, big boy. And I'm not sure that that's life enhancing for them.
Yeah.
There might be some people out there who disagree, like I'm sure there are porn stars out there and OnlyFans stars who are kind of like, I feel fully empowered in everything that I'm doing. Okay, kudos to you. And admittedly, I see the ones who come to me because it's problematic.
Yeah.
I see the ones who come to me because they did it because they thought it was easy money and, I'm empowered. And often they use that language. Oh, but I'm so empowered. I'm making the choice to be on OnlyFans or to be whatever it is that they're doing. Yeah, I don't know. I just think you're bought into the patriarchal model that somehow it's empowering for a woman to sell herself for the male gaze.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, call me a porn-hating feminist, whatever. There's probably some awful acronym you can give me because I'm not following whatever the line is that we should all think that, empowering yourself for that sort of thing is a good thing, right? And I'm not hating on sex workers or porn stars or OnlyFans stars, right? I'm just saying, let's just really get down to the core of this.
Yeah.
Right?
Why
and
are you
I
here?
think it's very sad that people can make so much money off this. I also think it's even sadder that the vast majority of people who do it aren't making much money at all.
Yeah, totally.
And
That's
just a few
definitely
stars
true.
who do.
Yeah. But I guess my question, well, I guess the answer to my question is it's about why are you consuming it is the main problem that you have. Is
and I
the
think
reason why people are consuming it.
Yeah. And look, I really want to focus more on that side of things because I don't want to be seen as judgmental. Oh my God, we can't be judgmental these days. We've got to accept everybody because everyone's okay.
Being judgmental is brainwashing for women to buy into the patriarchy.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's also a difference between respecting people's choices and actively disagree, like hating on them for it. Like if you want to do that, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I'm just going to disagree with it and be over here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Rather than like, you're not part of our club now.
Yeah, exactly. But for you, our lover listeners, if you're curious about, your own engagement with porn and how you personally relate to porn, that is the question, really. That's the main thing that we want to get across here. And I guess some sort of including some of these other elements to just so that you can sort of look at the whole thing more broadly as well.
Yeah. Nuance. We love nuance.
But one thing that I have noticed, I'm going to share this, and this is again just kind of clinical experience and personal experience. A lot of the people that I've worked with, when they adopt this approach to sexuality that is more holistic and beautiful and rich and deep and actually genuinely erotic, they often lose interest in porn.
Yeah, like me.
Well, like you. Like me. Like so many people. Yeah. It's kind of like learning to cook properly and improving the quality of your food. You don't want to eat fast food anymore because it tastes like shit. It really does taste like shit. And so much of the fast sex, it's shit. Like there's actually nothing interesting or engaging or fulfilling in it. So it's a lot of people, I've just noticed that a lot of people have found that.
Time and a place.
And time again,
There's a time and a place for fast self-pleasuring, but it is not the bulk.
It's not the
all
bulk
there is.
of it. And I really encourage people when enjoying your self-pleasuring is to do it without watching porn.
Definitely,
because our brains are just so creative.
I had this exact conversation at the pub the other day where we were talking and she was like, I can't orgasm if I'm not watching porn. And I was like, that makes sense that you keep doing it then because it's safe and it's guaranteed. But why? Like, have you thought about why? And she's like, well, I just know that it's going to work for me. And I was like, yeah, interesting. She didn't really want to change her ways or anything, but I feel like hopefully I
planted a seed.
Yeah, catalyzed the thought process.
Yeah.
But also that was it was crazy to me that she couldn't, like, I know that a lot of AFAB people can't orgasm by themselves, but
well, you can practice.
Yeah. Practice makes
And certainly
perfect.
for the, what's not the AFAB, the AMAB men. Yes, because I see a lot of men who, use the I'm addicted to porn thing. I call it compulsive porn watching. Too much porn watching. The first thing I say to them is, it's not don't masturbate, because there's a school of thought out there that goes, you got to stop masturbating. But that's because they've linked porn with masturbating so much. And I'm kind of like, no, let's decouple the porn from the masturbating.
Yeah.
So that you learn to masturbate, self-pleasure, using your own mind, using your own being in touch with your body.
That's
and
like
really
the biggest takeaway, I think, is porn is someone else's fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, that's why porn will make you a bad lover.
Yeah.
Like, really, when it gets down to it, someone else's fucking fantasy. Your brain, incredible.
And it's not even fantasy, like it's kind of like too blatant even to be fantasy.
Well, it's someone else's idea of what sex should be or and what sex should look like.
Yeah.
And it's so much more powerful when it comes from your own brain.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it just be so great if they taught us this in school?
Oh, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it be fucking great?
Wouldn't it be great?
Wouldn't it be great if teachers or sex health facilitators were just like, so your genitals are yours and you actually get to touch them however you want. Like, imagine if they just said that to us fucking one time.
You didn't even get that.
No.
Didn't get that. No, you get the basics of reproduction and some scaremongering about STDs. Oh, and make sure it's consensual.
Yeah. So
nothing about pleasure.
Makes sense why people go to porn.
Well, they do. Where else are they going to go? And one thing for the parents out there, I keep saying.
Well, I actually keep going. Sorry. One of my questions was going to be, should I stop my kids from watching porn?
Well, good luck. As evidenced here, that didn't work.
Well, you never tried to stop me, though.
Subtly.
I don't think so.
Well, let's just say, if I can say this to the entire world, it was a little bit hard to engage with you for quite a period of time there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I was just kind of like keeping my fingers crossed that what we'd done up to that point was helping you make good choices and knowing that you would come to me if you really needed to. And look, voila, it's turned out.
And now we have a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you did do that. Like, I was equipped with tools to get here eventually. But should you actively stop your kids from watching porn?
Well, certainly with little ones, yes, make sure you've got all of those blocks on as early as possible. The other thing too was, though, like you and your brothers were we parents were guinea pigs as well. You kids were guinea pigs. We were guinea pigs. Like, we didn't grow up with any of this stuff, so we didn't necessarily know how to police you.
True.
And there weren't necessarily all of the blocks and controls that parents these days have. So sorry if I messed up and allowed you to see more than...
I didn't go looking for it until I was like 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. But older kids?
Yeah. Look, I think what is important, they're going to see it. They just are, right? They're going to see about it. They're going to hear about it, whether it's by chance or being shown it. It doesn't matter. Like, it's there. So I believe what's important is that as parents, you are a comfortable space for them to talk to about it. They're not going to be learning about what is good quality sex from school and certainly not from porn, right? So it's really important that you are there giving them the message, like, bring the love in, slow it down. It's about, tenderness and connection. You need to be sharing that, partly by modeling a beautiful relationship with each other as best you can. Of course, they're not going to see you having sex, but, seeing you being tender and loving with each other. And for you from, the earliest age, just reinforcing how important it is for mummy and daddy to have time together. And we like to make love because we love each other so much. You kids were brought up with the concept of cuddle time.
Yeah.
Mummy and daddy had cuddle time. And it was a beautiful thing. And then as they're getting older, you can try and introduce more concepts. They're not always going to be open to it. See Exhibit A, who was really closed off talking to me about anything for quite a period of time. There was a lot of the flick, storm, smash, the flick of the hair, the storming off and the slamming of the door with, "You just don't understand me, Mum," followed by weeping and me going, "Are you okay?" "No, don't."
Okay, it's going on a long time now. Really drawing it out.
I'll leave you to decide whether you edit that out or not, darling. Yeah, so look, I mean, really, all of my kids, like the big
some
brother
advice from
was
someone
just-
who was recently a child. Not that
I guess.
recently, but
Yeah.
I guess
well, compared
more
to-
recent. Yeah. Just don't let the first, don't let their first like experience with porn be porn. I would say make sure they know what it is beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, at
and
some
just
of that
open
is
conversation.
Yeah, and even just like knowing their own bodies, like being comfortable with nudity and calling body parts by their actual names and things like all of this, demonstrating respecting of space as well. So not forcing them to, hug or kiss relatives they don't want to, or forcing them to wear clothes that they don't want to, or barging in on their rooms without knocking. Like a lot of that sort of thing is teaching them to respect and value their own space and their own needs and choices and so forth. A little story like with you. Always been into clothes, as you can imagine. Like as a little one, there was no way I could force you to wear anything that you didn't want to, and I didn't try to. There was one time you had this amazing tie-dyed skirt dress when you were 2 years old, and I had to wash it when you were asleep because it was worn every single day. But then throwing together all these clothes, just allowing it. And even in high school, you would do weird and interesting things with the uniform, So that sort of stuff is really
the
important.
reason why I'm saying the parent should be the first point of contact with porn is because, like, if you're young, like, I don't know, 8 years old, and you see porn having no idea, like, so many unanswered questions that you have to figure out by yourself, and
it's confusing,
can be dangerous,
and it can look really scary.
So just make sure you're talking to kids about sex. It's fine. They turn out great.
Yes. And if you're talking to them about sex when they see, like your big brother, I remember, came home from school when he was about 5 years old going, "Ooh, do you and daddy do sex? This naughty thing." And I was like, yeah, that's cuddle time. And he was just so shocked because he knew cuddle time was this really beautiful thing that mummy and daddy do to make love.
Yeah.
And that he kind of had already picked up that sex was this dirty, sordid thing. So I was just like really happy that he understood cuddle time.
Yeah.
And that was his first experience rather than this sordid, awful sex thing. So even before he knew, he had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
So, you've got to be there.
Yes.
And available for your kids. And also, can I just stress that thing too, that a lot of well-meaning parents will kind of go along with whatever their kids are saying to sort of appear cool and stuff, like if partly think, oh, well, that's kids are going to watch porn. No, porn's not that bad, it's just sex. No, you've got to trust your gut here as well, right? Don't just think like, oh, yeah, it's okay, right?
Especially if they're an AMAB child, because it gets a bit dangerous, doesn't it? You don't want your little boys walking around with those ideas.
Yeah,
and also for the women,
for the girls
definitely,
to think that they should be responding in that way. Yeah, like seriously, it's not good for either.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Wow, me the non-binary getting schooled on not being so gendered. Okay, let's do one more question, which is, should I stop watching porn?
Again, that's a question for you to delve inwards. If you're watching a lot of it and you're thinking that you'd like to watch less, well then, actively start watching less. But again, it comes down to this question, why are you watching it? What are you getting from it?
Yeah.
Right? So have these really good questions with yourself.
To be honest, I would say you should stop watching porn if you've never not watched porn. Like, I would say immediately stop.
Yeah, if you can.
If you can, yes.
And then it's kind of interesting to see what it's like when you do stop, right? But really, you want to know what your own erotic imagination brings
Exactly,
for you.
Dude. I can't stress this enough. Your brain.
Yeah.
Incredible.
You want to know how you can be engaged with your own body and your own body's arousal, right? Without it being forced on you from the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah? And you're not going to be able to really fully embrace everything that we're talking about here.
Yeah.
If you get to a point and then you're like, nah, got to get the quick fix. Got to have that.
And also, just a side note, another thing that really helped, that really, I guess, triggered my stopping watching porn journey was I messed up at self-pleasure most nights because it helped me go to sleep. And so I would do that with porn, but then I realized that I was looking at the screen. So I would like actually not be tired because I would still be looking at my screen. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes. But you can also sort of like wean yourself off by like listening to, the stories, the erotic stories. Like for a lot of people, I would say try moving towards more erotica.
Yeah.
Yeah. Erotica has a different vibe. It's not so intense. It's not so straight to the fucking. It doesn't necessarily have the more demeaning things. So reading erotica or listening to it. Sharing
Smart
stories.
is like, I think I might have talked about this in the pod already, but book sales have like, it's a record high because of Smart. Because TikTok Smart trends and a lot of young women on the internet are discovering Smart for the first time. So Smart is so great because your brain is the pictures.
Your brain is because even though I said I don't like porn and I've never found any I love erotica. Yeah. I don't read it so much these days, but for years and years, like I just consumed really large amounts of erotica and, I have a very erotic mind. And, like that's wonderful. And there's so many different types. For some people, it's more of a romance with some nice kind of sex scenes
many
in
different
it.
types. Crazy.
Or, actual erotica where the focus is on it. And, and they're often short stories. So you do get sort of that little snippet and it gives you insights into, it also gives you insights into your own erotic themes that you can then take into your own sexual play as well. Yeah.
Because that's what's really one of my favorite parts about using my imagination is because then it's like, oh, wow, brain, didn't know I liked that. That's a great idea.
And it really does allow you, like to tap into the creativity. Yeah. And like everything else great in life as a human, it's about your creative expression of self, like living a life that is a creative expression of self. And, the sexual part of your life is such an important part of that as a human being.
Totally.
So,
and if you didn't hear it in school, guys, it's your body. You get to do whatever you want to it.
Yes.
And play with it however you want. Yeah. So that's it.
All right. Well, there you go. That was quite a strident sort of a one. We'll have them now and again, I imagine. But hopefully it was also empowering.
She's quite passionate about this topic.
I can be passionate about some things. There's some things I get very passionate about. Yeah. Yes, because passion is good.
It is good.
When it is a genuine expressionist.
Totally. And it is important.
What?
Important.
Important. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I'll leave you guys with that one.
Important.
We'll see you next Friday. Love you, live.